So, I just watched episode 5 of Star Trek Discovery. Choose Your Pain, it's called. Doesn't really matter what the story's about. What it really matters is what they did in that episode, which has actually really annoyed me as a Star Trek fan. They've actually dropped in the F word twice. The first time she says it, I was like, oh, they've gone there. And then the second time he says it, it's like, oh, they've gone there twice. That's really disappointing as a Star Trek fan from doing this on this new show. I kind of felt that the new show might be an opportunity for me to watch Star Trek with my son, who's now 7 years old. And I haven't shown him any of it yet, because I can't. And now I really can't show him any of it, because he's only 7 years old. There's the extreme violence when people are stabbing each other with very realistic sound effects, you'd imagine. And now they're swearing like, you know, I swear next week they're going to drop in the C word. They're just pushing the limits every single week of what can we get away with on this TV show. It doesn't really feel like it's called Star Trek. It doesn't look and feel like Star Trek. It looks and feels like something else, like Game of Thrones in a Star Trek universe. I don't mind having swearing in my TV shows when it's an adult TV show, but Star Trek is supposed to be about bettering humanity in the future and showing what we're capable of if we set aside all our differences. And so far Discovery has just all been about war, and I know Deep Space Nine ended up being mostly about the Dominion War, but they were still able to tell lots of other stories with that as a backdrop to it. And this is all after Roddenberry had died. Obviously Deep Space Nine he wasn't too happy with apparently when they proposed it, but apparently when you speak to some of the producers of Deep Space Nine, that in books I've read, that he was begrudgingly coming round to the idea before he died. I can only imagine what he's thinking now if that so-called afterlife exists and he is able to see what is going on with what he started all the way back in the 1960s and what they're sticking his label on now. He must be absolutely going bananas up there. He's just, what are you doing to my idea of the future? This is not my idea of the future. It's something else entirely. Why they have to put it in there? I don't understand why they need to swear in Star Trek. You can get TV shows where they're swearing anywhere else, but Star Trek should be Star Trek, and this is not Star Trek. It's something else, and it's really frustrating. My biggest problem with it, aside from maybe the storyline is a little bit one-dimensional and we're just going to go on this long story through this war, people are going to die, lots more suffering, lots more pain. That's not why I want to watch Star Trek. I want to watch Star Trek so I can be entertained, and undeniably it is mildly entertaining, Discovery, it is, but the joy of things like The Next Generation, which is probably my favourite by far, you can just pluck out, apart from two-parters, you can pluck out any episode, any single one, and just pop it in and watch it. There's bad ones, of course, but it's just episodic. It's not this huge story arc that you've got to make sure that you watch them in order for it all to make perfect sense. I mean, maybe after the first time you've watched all of Discovery, you can then just go back to your favourite episodes where things happened, but they're not standalones, which is what Star Trek was built upon. They're just messing around with the foundations of this fantastic program that, if you're older, I'm in my 40s now, but if you're older, you remember the original stuff, that's what we want to see again. More of that, but updated. And there's always new stories to tell in that kind of universe where they're doing episodic stuff week to week. I watched the first episode of The Orville yesterday, and that is so much more Star Trek than this Star Trek, and it's not even called Star Trek. But at its heart, I know he's a big fan, Seth MacFarlane, and it's on the screen to see, but it's a place you'd like to be in, that universe. I do not want to be in the Star Trek Discovery universe, not one little bit. Who'd want to go there? It is dark, everyone shouts at each other, everyone kills each other with sharp weapons. If they're not, they're blasting themselves with phasers that disintegrate you instantly. It's a horrible place to be, and I'm getting a bit tired of it already. I'm just like, do I watch any more? I'm curious as to see what they're going to do next, just because they just seem to be, there's a line and they just keep walking over it. It's like, won't you please stop it? So they dropped it anyway. they started swearing the F word in Star Trek. Now, does that mean there's going to be another one next week? Maybe, I don't know. There weren't any in the first 4 episodes, obviously, because I would have made a video about that. Anyway, it's there, it's out there. I don't like it. I hope they get a lot of reaction from fans, probably saying they don't like it. I want to watch this show with my son is the bottom line, and I can't watch it with my son. I mean, you'll probably say, why don't you just watch Next Generation with your son? Because I've seen all the Next Generation episodes. I want to watch a new Star Trek where I don't know what's going to happen. It's not happening with Star Trek Discovery. It's a shame I can't watch The Orville with him, because that humour is a little adult too. Not in the same league as what they're doing on Star Trek Discovery. It's not as violent. I mean, a lot of the jokes will go over his head, but it's still probably not quite appropriate for a 7-year-old boy. Whereas I can watch The Next Generation with him, but I wanted to watch a new show with my son. It's just frustrating that they're making it this way. I always said when I was watching The Next Generation that it would be nice if they had, stronger, darker episodes here and there, because it's nice to push the envelope of a series, and undeniably they did make some, but this is just going too far for Star Trek. It's not because it's not because I want to put it down and just say it's just wrong. It's wrong because it's got Star Trek attached to it, and that is not what Star Trek is, basically. Anyway, felt the urge to make a video about it because I'm really, really annoyed about it. Anyway, hope everyone's having a good day, and you watch this video and you go, yeah, he's right. We can put in the comments, no, you're wrong, it's fine, I don't care if they swear or not, but it's really, the cornerstone of my argument is I can't watch this show with my son, and I really wanted to, and I can't, not until he's probably much older, with the kind of violence and the bad language they're now using in Star Trek. The two things don't go hand in hand. They need to, I don't know, maybe they'll get the message this season, and season 2, if they get it, might be a whole lot different. If they can just knock on the head this whole Klingon war business, which we do a bit of, I'm not going to save all that for something else. It's too long-winded. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll do what I do in my tanks videos. Keep your heads down, drink plenty of water, cut a pow, and I will make another video about Star Trek soon, which I've been promising for years actually, but I will. I'm so annoyed about Discovery that I'm probably going to get around to my Next Generation reviews, because I really want to do those. Anyway, take care, have a good day, and thanks for listening to my little mini rant. Take care, bye bye.